Welcome back to Bombastic Nation and Ting and Ting and Ting. Yes, what going on out there, people, man? You got all these conspiracy theories going around now about the virus, about politics, about religion. Got all these conspiracy theories going around. And it's like, what is the reason for it? So they said, well, you know what? I'm interested in it. Maybe you might be interested in it too. So I did a little digging and thing, and I come up with this one here called "The Real Reason Conspiracy Theories Work." And thing. I saw a few others there. I may react to them, but I just want to see why it worked because I hear some of the weirdest, strangest things that people say. Doesn't make any sense. It's like a mixture of reality and fantasy. They took reality and add some fantastic things to it to try to make life make sense, but it doesn't make sense because the fantastic stuff kind of sensationalize the real stuff. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I see the thing. You know what I mean? But I tell you what, let's see what the experts have to say about that. Let's go ahead and YouTube and Simma.
Conspiracy theories have been around for centuries. In fact, many historians believe that the American Declaration of Independence was created in response to a potential British plot that actually didn't exist.
And while you may not think that you believe in any conspiracy theories, they follow such an effective cognitive formula that you might believe in one right now without even realizing it.
Watch eyes.
Shocking footage has emerged of Justin Bieber that appears to show transform into a giant lizard.
Boom.
Studies have found that actually over 50% of Americans believe in at least one conspiracy theory.
Oh my god!
YouTube and other social media platforms have come under a lot of fire for conspiracy theory content proliferation online, so we wanted to investigate two things.
One, whether or not there has been a measurable rise in conspiracy theories in recent years.
And two, how conspiracy theories work to manipulate your brain so you can better defend yourself against their tactics and ultimately find out what it means if you believe in one in the first place.
Let's see what they say.
From an evolutionary perspective, biologists hypothesize that we've been programmed to fall for conspiracy theories as a protective measure. As hunter-gatherers, violence was a common cause for danger, and so being able to identify conspirators became an evolutionary advantage.
This theory was eventually developed into something that smart academics refer to as the adaptive conspiracism hypothesis. The hypothesis is essentially this. If you're walking in the jungle and you see a snake, but it's actually just a stick, okay, that's embarrassing, but you're still alive. Phew. But if you're walking in the jungle and you see a stick, no biggie, but it's actually a snake, okay, oops, you step on it, it bites you, now you're dead. This explains how our brains have been programmed into thinking better safe than sorry when it comes to survival.
In short, we fall for conspiracy theories because they seem like the safer option. It feels a lot better to be prepared for an enemy attack that might not even be there than to not be prepared at all.
This brings us to a pattern found in many conspiracy theories that makes them so effective, and it's called the illusory pattern perception.
The illusory pattern perception is a cognitive bias we humans have evolved. We tend to notice patterns within random stimuli in order to create conceptual meaning behind the world we live in. Let's take a simple example of this scenario. If you flipped a coin 3 times and each time you got heads, what do you think would happen next? If you're unlikely to fall victim to the illusory pattern perception of conspiracy theories, you'd say there was always a 50-50 chance that you get either heads or tails. Because obviously the flips you got before have no impact on the flip you get next. But others who are more prone to illusory pattern perception will think they're more likely to get tails, as 3 heads in a row, that's insane, it has to be tails next. They're noticing a pattern and creating a meaning behind it.
We were deeply entertained by Shane Dawson's conspiracy theory videos. They made us lol, and the music was extremely effective. It's like, move over, Hans Zimmer, there's a new God in town. When When we started to apply our research to Shane's videos, whether he intended it or not, we could see the illusory pattern perception.
He establishes a pattern and then directly correlates it to something bigger. For example, while at Chuck E. Cheese, they notice that some of the pizza slices aren't lining up perfectly, and then start to think that maybe they're old recycled pieces.
Pictures of the pieces that don't
Now this is breaking it down to the nitty gritty right here. I like this.
fit together.
That is pretty crazy.
Come on. It never lines up.
They then see another piece of the pattern, an employee who's looking at an old pizza to see whether or not it's good enough to recycle.
I think he just did a quality check.
Again, these are just pieces of information that are strung together to form a theory.
That was no quality check. They go around and check the tables, you know. Get the bus boy to come clean it. Could fall for anything, huh?
That's not necessarily substantiated. Even though there's no solid evidence, it's really entertaining and really enticing. But what's most interesting is that some people might be more convinced based on their biology.
Being vulnerable to conspiracy theories has been directly linked to dopamine in your brain. In one study, after participants were given a drug to increase dopamine levels, they were more likely to exhibit the illusory pattern perception. Another study showed that people with genetically higher levels of free dopamine in their brains were more likely to believe in one or more conspiracy theories.
On top of this, if you have feelings of anxiety, uncertainty, or powerlessness, it can encourage you to search for order within chaos. One study showed participants paintings that were very orderly by Victor Vasarely and paintings with a lot of disorder by Jackson Pollock. The participants were then asked to look for patterns. Everybody was able to see patterns in the orderly Vasarely paintings, but those who found more pattern in the disordered Jackson Pollocks were also more likely to believe in conspiracy theories.
Just to be clear, falling for conspiracy theories does not mean that you are stupid. As humans, we are brilliant, smart animals. Like, for example, if I ever need an ego boost, I just go up to my dog and I'm like, literally, compared to me, you're so dumb. But our brains are susceptible, and this is why we need to be talking about why conspiracy theories may be damaging our society.
Studies show that right now, 37% of Americans believe in the conspiracy theory that global warming is a hoax. Of course, the scientific consensus is that not only does it exist, but it's having an immense impact on our environments and our economy, as well as displacing and killing people.
20% of Americans still believe the conspiracy theory that vaccines cause autism. This one has been extremely rampant on YouTube, Facebook, and Pinterest, and has been helped by celebrities like Charlie Sheen and Kristen Cavalry. Not sure if it's smart to be taking medical advice about safety.
Who listens to Charlie Sheen? Winning. What the blood clot? If Charlie Sheen come and tell me something, I'm gonna be like, Charlie Sheen said it. Who listens to Charlie Sheen? Jesus. Maybe I'll listen to him, you know. Hey, don't go to that house there. Those ladies of the night might get you hemmed up. I don't understand who listens to Charlie Sheen, you know what I mean? Whoops, I just screwed this up. Let me get it back up to where it should be, you know?
From someone who casually walks in the middle of the street.
That's when Casey's party was.
I just thought about that.
Whatever, I don't need to go to that. I'm like a Barbie doll, but yeah, I'll go.
Science again proves that vaccines are one of the most effective ways to prevent disease, and the proliferation of these vaccine hesitancy conspiracy theories online are the reason that measles are now having new outbreaks all over America and the world, and also the WHO claims that vaccine hesitancy is the third largest threat to global health this year.
Where this all comes to head is the proliferation of conspiracy theories by algorithms, like our favorite, notorious and elusive YouTube algorithm. We're talking to you right now on a platform that is controlled by an algorithm designed to keep you here longer and have you enjoying everything you consume. So you can bet that if you watch a video that's an hour long about conspiracy theories, it's gonna know and think you like that and start suggesting stuff to you. But it's not likely to be the overly pedantic or nuanced or calm videos, but rather the really emotionally intense and stuff that, you know, might contain misinformation.
Combine the technological algorithm with your brainy biological algorithm, and you can see why YouTube has a problem on their hands. Former YouTube software engineer Guillaume Chaslot started to speak about how YouTube would actually target vulnerable people to show them conspiracy theory videos to keep them on the platform for longer. He even created a website called Algo Transparency that you can go on right now, and what it does is it shows you the top YouTube channels and the videos that they are currently recommending. While we were researching this video, at the current time we went on the website and the top 4 videos being recommended had to do with conspiracy theories or secret information. You can go check it right now, like it will be different. It's very interesting to sort of like just keep up and check out what it is that YouTube is suggesting to the world right now.
But interestingly, scholars have actually studied the prevalence of conspiracy theories through the years, and it actually remains pretty consistent. They do, however, say that the internet has displaced the gatekeepers, the producers, editors, and scholars who decide what is worthy of dissemination. This has caused YouTube and other platforms to start actually taking action. Like, Pinterest has actually banned all conversations about vaccines until they can figure out how to manage and stop the spread of misinformation. And YouTube doesn't take down the videos as of now, but they do demonetize anti-vax videos. YouTube has also started putting little Wikipedia blurbs underneath videos that may contain misinformation, and they claim to be reducing recommendations of borderline content.
So now you know, from an evolutionary perspective, why we might fall for conspiracy theories, and the common cognitive formula that makes them work so well, and lastly, why, from a biological perspective, you might be more susceptible. You can check out our podcast for more information about conspiracy theories, because it's where I found...
Yeah, dude. That whole conspiracy thing is really interesting to me, you know what I mean? Like, okay. This kid I work with, like 19 years old, come up to me and he told me to watch this video called The Fall of the Cabal or something like that, you know what I mean? And a couple of friends of mine who I'm going to have on this show here, I'm going to have on this channel here with me, reacting to some stuff, maybe something about that, but we no, that's for our future dating thing. But that thing is so powerful that a 19-year-old is going to come up and tell me how the world works because he watched that. And and I try to explain to him, okay, if this thing is politically motivated and it's coming from one political side's perspective, be aware of it, because it's politically motivated. Politics, as it is now, and maybe has always been, it's kind of an inhumane thing, you know what I mean? It's not about human beings, it's about winning elections, it's about power, it's about money. Might get demonetized for saying all of that, but I ain't even close to being monetized yet, so I ain't really worried. But the point is, I wasn't going to watch it, but I think I'll watch it and possibly react to it with my buddy Kian, who gets into the study of things like that really heavy and on politics and all of that. Me, I go for the human element, kind of like this video here, man. I don't even give conspiracy theory the chance to get at me, especially when they start talking about time machines and what? You talking about stuff you can't prove. Okay, the pedophile rings and stuff, it's there. As a matter of fact, we are so worried about what's going on with the rich people doing it. It's happening right in our backyard, and we ain't even paying attention to that. We try to take down the people there, not paying attention to the people right on our noses doing it. And that's the danger of conspiracy theories. It kind of lets you forget the immediate around you and try to find something that's expanded all over the place, something you have no control over. You have control over what's going on here, what's going on now. That's my little 2 cents. We should pay attention to what's going on here, because you know what is it, Bob Marley used to say, one drop ripples and it fixes everything. And it's not starting from the bottom, because I don't believe there's a bottom side of the human race. If we are human, we're all human, point blank period. Doesn't matter if you're rich or not, you're human. That's the natural thing. all the conspiracy theories and politics and all that's human concocted things there. And people have learned and have used. For the air conditioner on, I'm gonna just leave it like it is. I'm gonna turn it off for the next video. But anyway, the humming noise you hear in the background, that's the air conditioner. It's hot as hell in here. So, but anyway, conspiracy theories are dangerous, man. They're dangerous because a lot of them have no basis in scientific fact. We live in a strange time. I won't say it's a scary time. I think people are looking for something to explain what's going on around them, and unfortunately, there's other people exploiting that. But anyway, I ramble on too much and ting. I hope you guys enjoy that. You hear all this stuff about conspiracy theory. Well, here's a sort of a scientific, biological sort of analysis of the situation and thing, man.